Shalom Akim, Yabashim Shai Baraktan. It's Brother Menashe at DC Camp. Another lesson, just to edify the Akim between the work of Yabashim Shai in sincerity and with all diligence. And I also like to say, double honors and salutations to the elect and, others and apostle of Great New Stone, Sincere Akim. Just got some precepts to go over because I know the strangers of our salvation is at hand. We gotta go through that furnace of adversity. So I got Matthew chapter 24, start from verse 35. It says, "Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away." And this year I was shy prophesying of things that's about to come to pass. So in Verse 6 says, "But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only." So that's it. That's the time we're living in, man. The fulfillment of prophecy. Yahweh Shai didn't abolish, the prophecies. He fulfilled them. He performed so many acts and the miracles that that spoke volumes. And these are the times we're living in, tough times, scary times, very disturbing times. Folks think it's just all fun watching the solar eclipse come and go, but it has a serious meaning behind it, So I get, let me pull up a quick precept here. I'll just read from get second Ezra's. Actually, Wisdom of Solomon is better. Get Wisdom of Solomon. So just keep it simple. So it's Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5, start from verse 1. Then it says, "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labor." So that's what the elect are doing right now, Lord willing, I'm of that number. The men of the Lord that I do the work with, DC camp, Texas, New York, LA, Vegas, London, Mississippi, where they are on the face of the earth, pray that we're of that number, that we're able to speak the word of Yahweh Shem Shai with all boldness, sound in the spirit, without any shame, because Yahweh Shai says, we should not be ashamed to declare his gospel, and we'll be brought before kings and judges and magistrates, crowds of folks that got problems with the scriptures, but regardless of that, we still got to stay the course. And then, verse 2 says, "When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear." So the elites of this world, the rich, that think of themselves as being so important that their wealth, cannot be, be measured, because it's all hidden. But the Most High measures that, and counts it as dust of the balance. Verse 2 says, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5, "When they see it, they shall be troubled with fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for." So, this rulers of this world, that sit in high places, they're all pissed off, They're pissed off in the spirit. That's why they're stirring up all this madness in Babylon across the four corners of the earth. Besides, I'll just see the Most High, put in their spirit to cause all kind of troubles. So this is the book of Habakkuk. Start from verse. Let's see. Let's start from verse 14. It says, "For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of Yahbashim Yahushai, as the waters cover the sea." So the knowledge of these scriptures, brought out in its proper perspective, going throughout the four corners of the earth, is it's being manifested. Brothers putting out videos, lessons, teaching, day and night. It's a great thing. It's prophecy coming to pass. And then 15 says, "Woe to him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth that bottle to him, and maketh him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness." So the time of that drunkenness and nakedness, that the elect had experienced, that time is over. Now they have the knowledge, they got the garment. The Most High took away that spirit of drunkenness, the spirit of ignorance away from them. And then verse 16 says, "Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also." So it's going to apply to the elites of this world, that have put all labels upon the nation of Israel, held us captives for centuries, putting up false doctrines, funding it, with all the resources they've got. And the Messiah says, "The cup of the Lord Yahbashim Yahushai's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory." So the glory of these Edomites is gonna be counted as dung, because men of the Lord are counted as fools for Christ's sake. That's a wonderful calling we cannot reject. And this solar eclipse, it's a reminder to brothers, the Akim, that the Most High has not forgotten about his people. And this is another book I need to go into. This is 1 John chapter 3. Alright. So I'll just I'll start on verse 1. So it says, "Behold, what manner of love the Father had bestowed upon us, giving all this knowledge, allowing our Yahushai to die on the cross for us, that we should be called the sons of power." Yasha'al, the Israel of God. "Therefore the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not." So that's a big difference right there. The world is in darkness, and we the men of the Lord willing, are in light. Then verse 2 says, "Behold, now are we the sons of power," or sons of Yahbashim Yahushai, "and it doth not yet appear what we shall be, but we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is." So we're gonna be, elevated to that righteous level, to have a spirit that dwelt, on righteous matters. The spirit of Yahbashim shall be upon us. We won't have no problems, executing judgment righteously, And then let's see, it's another one. 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 4. Alright. And it says, "And when the chief shepherd shall appear, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away." So that goes back to Matthew the 25th chapter. When Yahushua says, "Heaven and earth shall pass away, but his word shall not pass away." So that's exactly the time we're living in. So it's a beautiful thing to have this knowledge, And then it says, I'll read one more time. "And when the chief shepherd shall appear, that's Yahushai, because we are the flock of his pasture, you shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away. Alright, so that's a simple precept, so that's what's gonna be bestowed upon us, everlasting glory, because that's what the scripture talks about. There's no other way we could have it. So I'll look up another precept here. So alright, so this is verse 28. It says, and now little children abide in him, that when he shall appear, we may have confidence and not be ashamed before him at his coming. Alright, so it says, if you know that he is righteous, you know that everyone that doeth righteousness is born of him. So that's our description, our job description, our calling. That we got to stay in the path of righteousness. It's gonna be tough, but we just got to stick with it. It's hard, to walk the straight and narrow in this world, because there's so much, that man the Lord got to deal with. But other than that, the Most High always make a way, for his servants to do his will. It's a great thing, to understand you have the power of Yahweh Shema Shai that always intervenes, to make sure the man of the Lord, keep on moving forward. Alright. So I get another precept. Let's see. Because we as the men that go out on highways and byways, we have no other option, but to do this work. We don't want to be ashamed in the presence of Yahweh Shai, Most High Yahweh, and in front of the angels too. When that time comes, we want to be found worthy to receive mercy, salvation. So I read 2 Ezra chapter 13. I'm going to start from verse 12. It says, afterward saw I the same man come down from the mountain, and call unto him another peaceable multitude. Alright, so that's Yahushai drawing the flock, the 1/3 unto him. Alright, and there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, and some of them were bound, and other some brought of them that were offered. Then was I sick through great fear, and I awaked and said, thou hast shewed thy servant these wonders from the beginning, and hast counted me worthy that thou shouldest receive my prayer. Alright, so it's gonna be rough, man. The solar eclipse just lets you know that that transition period, it's happening. 2 Ezra 6 and 9, Esau's the end of the world, Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. So let you know that the Most High's judgment is coming to pass. World War III got to happen. The RFID chip, it's got to be instituted and made mandatory. It's going to be crazy out here, because brothers that stay in Virginia, you understand the atmosphere down here, it's crazy. These Edomites are just, they're bugged out, seriously bugged out. How American, can Virginia be after Texas? But it's all the same. It's all, it's all that Babylon juice, because the elites are already done with America. All they're doing now is just let America crumble. They're dragging their feet, to make major investments, to turn the economy around, because the Most High to put in their spirit to shut this place up. Business is just going under. Wages are not that impressive. So it's all the power of Yahweh Shem Shai, that these things must happen. You know, it's also important, brothers, say prayers. Send up curses upon Babylon. Upon America, upon these Edomites. Upon the heathen. So that the Most High will bring His judgment to pass. You gotta hasten the day. Hold not that peace day or night. Cause that's just the way the Most High has ordained things to be. You just gotta stick with the plan. It's gonna be rough, but you still gotta do it. You can't be having feelings. So this is another scripture here. So this is Revelations chapter 1. And look at verse 7. It says, Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Aman. Barak Tawab. So that's the time we're living in, because it's gonna be tough out here, man. It's hard. It's hard, it's hard to describe it. The Most High give us the proper words to describe it in the proper time. So the scripture says everything. So that's about it. That's how I just put it. So Yahushai is getting ready, to make his second appearance in the heavens, to deliver his elect from the four corners of the earth, to bind, the kings and the princes of the heathens of this world, with chains and fetters of iron, to put them to captivity. Some were glad, that's the elect, some were sorry, Yep. That's those that found out the hard way that Yahushua is only for the nation of Israel, and then some of them were bound. Yep. And some brought of them that were offered. So it's gonna be rough, man, for these for the heathen, Ishmaelites, Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Hamites, Japhet. It's gonna be rough for them because they gotta go into captivity. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai. And this is Isaiah chapter 13. And then it says in verse 9, it says, Behold, the day of the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. So that's what's gonna be the destiny of America. The Most High is gonna destroy this place. Folks always like to say, oh well, what if this, what if that. Hey, there's no what if. It's a matter of when the Most High brings his judgment to pass. And then verse 10 says, For the stars of heaven and the constellation thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. So it's going to be signs in the heavens. You could have the eclipses, and then you have the whole sky covered with smoke from destruction in World War III. It's going to be crazy. And then 11 says, And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. So the elites of this world, the elites of Edom, elites of Ishmael, elites of Moab, Ammonites, Hamites, Ishmaelites, the Messiah is gonna strip them naked. It's gonna be a great event. And then 12 says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. So that's the elect, that the Most High has chosen to be exempt from the destruction, that He's bringing forth, to be exempt from judgment. It's gonna be crazy out here, Folks are gonna be losing their minds, due to the fearful, signs in the heavens. Chariots appearing, angels might be appearing too. All kinds of madness, apparitions, earthquakes. Yeah, so the Most High's power is going to be known, And verse 13 says, "Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place. In the wrath of the Lord, Yahbashim Ashai of hosts." It's about what? That's hosts. "And in the day of His fierce anger." So it's going to be crazy, man. Folks think it's a joke of what's written in the scriptures, but when it happens, they're not going to be laughing. All that smiling and giggling is going to go down the drain. Yep. So that's the simplicity of the scriptures, because Yahushua says, whoever who's laughing now, they're going to be mourning and weeping very soon. It's going to be strange to see how folks are going to be reacting in those days. And this is verse 8 of Zechariah, the 12th chapter. It says, "In that day shall the Lord Yahbashim shall defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the men that shall be as the golden wedge of Ophir, the perfect hiding place, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David." So the Most High is going to bless His man with spiritual powers, wisdom also. "And the house of David shall be as power, as the angel of the Lord Yahbashim shall before them." So we're going to be granted, that gift, that blessing we've always been looking forward to, that we're going to be like Yahbashim Shai. We're going to be like Him. Let's just pull up that old precept again from 1 John chapter 2, and let me see, make it 1 Peter. First Peter 5 and 4. Alright, so we're going to receive that great glory that Yahbashim shall give unto us. Actually, it's First John 3 and 2. Alright, so there's it right here. 1 John 3 and 2 says, "Beloved, now we the sons of Yahbashim Shai, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be, but we know that when He shall appear, we shall be like Him, for we shall see Him as He is." So that's what we're looking forward to. All these signs in the heavens is just a reminder that the elect are going to get delivered from the four corners of the earth, including the men, women, and children of the 1/3. It's going to be a beautiful story, a beautiful situation to experience, because folks just think that just because folks come up with that false doctrine that the Jews rejected the Lord, therefore the Gentiles can make it. Nah, that's not true. That's not what the scripture says. The heathen cannot make it. They always like to mix up Israelite foreigners and say that the heathen can make it. It doesn't say that in the scriptures. So folks always think that the nation of Israel rejected the Most High, therefore that's an opening for the Nakaya to get salvation. Nope. That's not the Most High's plan. That's contradictory to the scriptures. Yep. So I just keep it simple. Bring up an old precept that we don't really bring out that much. So this is Jeremiah 31st chapter. This is start from verse 35. So it says, "Thus said the Lord Yahweh Shimei Shai, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divided the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord Yahweh Shimei Shai of hosts is his name." Alright, so that's it's all the creation of the Most High. Most High gave us the sun, the moon, and the stars, different planetary bodies, to tell the times and the seasons. It's also a beautiful thing that you men of the Lord understand. The Most High is letting us know that salvation is near at hand. And verse 36 says, "If those ordinances depart from before me, said the Lord Yahweh Shimei Shai, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever." So this solar eclipse just reminds us that we're still here. All hope is not lost. We still have faith in Yahweh Shimei Shai. And verse 37 says, "Thus said Lord Yahweh Shimei Shai, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, said Lord Yahweh Shimei Shai." So all this technology that Esau has, try to measure the depth of the sea, the heavens, getting the special jets to trace the path of the solar eclipse, video recording, all the instruments of telemetry, the telescopes, satellites, and all that gadgets is got up in the sky, to get the best measurement down to the best accuracy. The Most High says if that can be done, he's gonna cast off his people. But the Most High didn't cast away his people, because the Most High is just playing the games with this heathen, that think that technology is an opportunity for them to upset prophecy. The Most High cannot let that happen, because the Most High is just a man with a serious, sense of humor. So there's nothing, the heathen can do to turn things around. That judgment is already set from before the foundation of the world, of the universe. So it's a great thing, to have this knowledge. The strangers of our salvation is at hand, and we that remain after all the persecution and destruction, that's coming upon the face of the earth, shall receive salvation. And I say double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, the sincere Akim that are diligent in the work of Yahweh Shimei Shai. Stay faithful, stay humble. Keep on teaching, keep on prophesying. Shalom.